military goods. No, we don't want to be a part of any war.
I don't think engaging in this military conflict is the solution. I hope and pray that Mr. Trump will bring a correct peace.
We want to be part of NATO, part of the European Union. We want to have good relations with all the neighbors. Of course, we want the current international treaties to be respected, but they were not, because Russia occupied part of Ukraine.
So we need new security guarantees that this will not happen in Romania, in Poland, and in the Baltic states.
I do not believe in the idea of a European army separate than the NATO defensive alliance. I think we should invest in security more.
How do you plan to manage the relationship to Vienna?
Mutual benefits. My intentions are very clear: to buy back the majority pack in Petrom.
I will put Romania's interest first, and I will put the Romanian people first. Priority will have the Romanian farmers, then the rest. Changing genders for little children, this for us as Romanian people are not an option. This is not what we signed up for. I'm fully committed in respecting all treaties that Romania has signed, but also we want respect and we want to be treated as equal partners. Nothing extra, but nothing less.
222. Salutare, dragi prieteni, suntem la Viena. Dăm un interviu pentru Exxpress AT. Voi abonați-vă pe canalul nostru de YouTube, unde vedeți imagini din spatele scenei. Cum e acum, așteptăm prezentatorul, nu știu, nu s-a trezit, e sâmbătă, sunt mai leneși ei.
I need a microphone. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Joining us today, George Simeon, co-founder and leader of the Romanian party, the Alliance of the Union of Romanians, AUR, and a candidate in the upcoming 2025 presidential election.
You have your water? Do you need anything else in there?
No, everything is good.
It is offline or?
It's offline, yes.
It's fine. I have no problem if you call him, but it just might be.
Maybe Trump will call.
Yes, exactly. And then, well, then you should advise you to pick up and talk to him right now. Yeah. Joining us today is George Simeon, co-founder and leader of the Romanian party, the Alliance of the Union of Romanians. Hello, we are happy to have you here.
Thank you for your invitation. It's good to be in Vienna and in your nice studio.
We are welcoming you, and you are also the candidate in the upcoming presidential election. Now, according to recent polls, you should be leading in the first round of the presidential election. However, it is anticipated that you might face Nicusor Dan, the independent centrist mayor of Bucharest, in the runoff. And there are projections that suggest that Dan could secure the majority of votes in the decisive round. So how do you think you will make it?
Maybe he can secure the necessary votes only in Bucharest, because he is not very loved across the country. He is not quite popular. It's quite a joke on the social media that Mr. Georgescu, the most voted Romanian, had a program about food, water, and energy, and the mayor of Bucharest will have the program no food, no water, no energy. He has a problem with the hot water for the citizens, for the buildings in Bucharest, so I don't believe in his chances to win. We have another candidate, Mr. Crin Antonescu, who is supported by our current governmental coalition, by the socialists, by the liberals, by the Hungarian minority, and they are fighting who will enter in the second round with me, against me. I would prefer to save money, and I would prefer to win these elections from the first round.
Thank you very much. Sorry, David, this...
Comrade, why don't
I am very sorry, we just...
A căzut scaunul, dragi prieteni, s-a întâmplat ceva aici.
But how did this happen? Did this happen?
You pushed the button.
Where?
Here.
right on the, you have on the
Yeah.
right side.
Yeah, here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry that
no
this,
problem, no
that,
problem.
but we will continue with this
Of
last
course,
one
of
because
course you can put the question
Ist
again.
ein Ansatzro?
why I still don't understand how it could happen because I didn't push it voluntarily.
Anders schon wieder runter.
Ja.
Bring einen anderen Sessel.
Please give me another one. This one is really. I told you that's one I noticed the last time.
Don't worry.
Okay, so now Romania is facing interesting times. Let's put it this way. It started in the last year. The 2024 Romanian campaign election was annulled by the Constitutional Court, and it was citing Russian interference and illegal campaign financing benefiting the surprise winner Călin Ceausescu. Now, do you consider this unprecedented decision justified, or do you view it as a dangerous precedent for democracy?
It is for sure an unprecedented attack on democracy. The report doesn't say anything about Russian collusion. The only ones who spoke about Russian interference was the former Secretary of State Antony Blinken and President Macron. The report says something about illegal financing, but the financing that was not declared was not Russian, but was from the EPP party, the National Liberal Party in Romania, which financed the TikTok operations in order to hit the sovereignist candidate, in order to hit me and reduce my chances to enter in the second round. So I would like to see evidences. I would like to see a shred of proof that this happened, and I will be the first to admit that something was fishy. But in my opinion, it was just the Romanian people who voted against the establishment, against the government, who basically runs things in Romania for 35 years. Nothing has changed in Romania. As you well know, we are a rich country from the point of view of resources. We have oil, we have natural gas, and we have a poor population which has to work in Austria, in Germany, in all Western Europe. We have over 6 million Romanians working abroad. This is not fair for a country that has 20 million citizens.
As a president, what would you do specifically to restore the public trust in the state institutions and in the democratic process?
I look towards Switzerland, who is a democracy that respects the will of the people and asks the people, what should we do in local, national and international problems? So I would return to democracy as a model, and I would ask more and more the Romanian citizens. We don't consider the Romanian citizens to be stupid, like some do, thinking they can be fooled through some hundreds of thousands of ads on Facebook or disinformation or manipulation. I trust the Romanian people, so we will ask them, for example, on appointing the members of the Constitutional Court, because now the members of the Constitutional Court are named by the governmental parties and by the president. So you have the former president, ethnic German, Klaus Werner Iohannis, who named the most of the members of the Constitutional Court, and you have politicians instead of judges in the Constitutional Court. They don't have to be former judges even. So my view is to return to democracy, to transparency, and respect the will of the people, even when we don't like this.
What do you think about now the situation in Ukraine and the politics of Brussels and European Union, which is to get more rearmament, to strongly support Mr. Zelensky, and to have, let's put it, this way a more confrontational approach towards Russia. Do you agree with European politics of European Union right now?
I don't think engaging in this military conflict is the solution. I hope and pray that Mr. Trump will bring a correct peace, will continue across the free world to make Pax Americana. Of course, we are not in a position to force Ukraine to accept peace. We are a country that suffered a lot in our history because of empires, because of not respecting the international treaties. We lost our territories that were occupied by Russian forces. We lost North Bukovina, we lost Bessarabia because of Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So we are well aware on how bombs, tanks can hurt a nation. And we don't want for anyone to suffer what we have suffered. But now, maybe Western Europe doesn't understand how Russia is working and how they want to create this kind of frozen conflicts. They did it in 1992 in the Dniester region, in 2008 in Georgia with Abkhazia and Ossetia, in 2014 occupying Crimea. So we need new security guarantees that this will not happen in Romania, in Poland, and in the Baltic states.
Now let's talk about relationship to Austria. There have been tensions like 3 years ago because Austria blocked Romania's Schengen entry, and you protested outside the Austrian embassy and at the OMV gas stations, and you were arguing boycott of Austrian companies. So if you became president, how do you plan to manage the relationship to Vienna?
Mutual benefits. This is what we are talking about. You cannot have economic exchanges without both sides benefiting from it. Yes, I think the stance of the Romanian government on Nehammer's decision should have been harder. Yes, I ask for respect for my country and for my nation. And I am telling many politicians here in Vienna that you cannot have imperialistic reflexes. Some of them are behaving rude. Some of them are behaving like it's their territory. Some of them are behaving like we have the Austro-Hungarian Empire once again, and we are on an economic occupation. This is not true. Austria benefited a lot, especially OMV, from business with the Romanian natural gas, with the Romanian oil and the natural resources. OMV was actually a smaller company than Petrom at the time OMV bought the majority pack in Petrom. So all I am saying is that we should respect each other. My intentions are very clear: to buy back the majority pack in Petrom. Of course, this is part of a negotiation. Of course, the Austrian side can be or cannot be interested, but it's not only about OMV. It's about the relations between Romania and Austria, which we want to continue, but under decent terms.
Yes, so Romania is on the verge of becoming Europe's largest natural gas producer, thanks to this Neptune Deep offshore project. And this is like a joint venture between OMV and Petrom and Romgaz, and it's set to start in 2027. So what guarantees should Romania expect from OMV to protect its national interests in such a strategic project?
we are happy in collaborating with external partners, but we want to put our national interest first. So our national interest is to utilize the offshore gas we have in the Black Sea. Also, we have onshore natural gas in the interest of petrochemic industry in Romania, and in the interest of the citizens and the economy in Romania. So I will urge, as a president of Romania, to start already the exploitation of natural gas, because it will benefit the Romanian citizens, it will benefit the Romanian state, and it will benefit also the Austria and OMV.
And it might benefit Austria a lot if OMV is in charge of the whole project.
I think this cannot be reached. You cannot be responsible of the whole project, as the natural gas is from the Romanian soil.
Mr. Simeon, thank you very much for this very interesting talk, and thank you for joining us here in Vienna.
Thank you also.
Okay, so thank you very much for this interview. My first question would be what the purpose is of your visit. Are you on a campaign, or is it more about international relations?
No, I'm not yet in a campaign, because I wasn't expecting to be a candidate. I promised my friends here in Austria that I will participate to a concert of Baroque music. So I honored this invitation, even if now with the last week's candidacy, I'm very tight in the schedule.
So you already mentioned your candidacy. It was quite a short-term one. So you're the candidate of the, let's say, unified sovereignist right in Romania. So the polls are saying that you will be probably the first one in the first round, but maybe you may lose in the second round. So how are you trying to get to the front?
Of course, in politics, everything is possible. We saw a major surprise in November's election with Mr. Georgescu growing from 1% to 23%. So we can expect anything is possible. But I would encourage the Romanian people to go out and vote and speak their mind on the 4th of May, so we can win this from the start.
Your career started with activism for reconstituting Romania between its interwar borders. I see you also wearing a pin. Have you abandoned these goals, or have your goals changed, or are you still pursuing it, and by what means, if you would become president?
It is a very good question, and thank you for it. We must specifically explain what's this about. We cannot revert back to the borders in interbellic period, even if Romania was a country that suffered and lost people and territory through the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, through two criminals of history. Now we are two countries, Romania and the Republic of Moldova, and the only way we can hope for reunification is on the German example of Eastern and Western Germany, and under the current international treaties, like under the Helsinki Final Act in 1975, with both sides agreeing to it. In regards with the territories that now are part of Ukraine, the only thing that we are stressing is that Kiev must respect the rights of national minorities. I mean, rights to school, to church, to religion. And this is not happening, and this is why we have sometimes problems with the attitudes of Kiev administration, who sometimes are behaving like their cousins, the Russians.
You mentioned the situations of the Romanian minority in Ukraine. What is in your idea the position of ethnic minorities in Romania, for example, of the Hungarians?
The ethnic minorities only enrich our countries, only produce prosperity and cultural diversity. So Romania is an example of respecting the rights of national minorities. I am very glad that the Hungarian ethnic minorities are represented in the political scene. We had a German ethnic president for 10 years, so you can see, everybody can see that the Romanian people are not a chauvinist and xenophobic people, voting with a big majority a German ethnic as their president. We also have 19th places in the parliament for other minorities other than the Hungarian minority. So I would say we are an example of respecting the rights of national minorities, and we want just the same treatment to have in Serbia, in Ukraine, in Hungary.
Okay, so for the Romanian minority there?
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing extra, but nothing less.
One last question regarding the role of Europe. So you already mentioned you want to have a close relationship with the US, but how should Europe move forward regarding the relationship with Russia, the situation in Ukraine, and also regarding this rearmament, or now it's called readiness, so this rearmament deal?
Of course.
Yes?
I do not believe in the idea of a European army separate than the NATO defensive alliance. I think we should invest in security more. This is what President Trump asked in his first term as president. And besides Romania and Poland and a couple of other countries, many didn't fulfill their tasks. So I would consider normal, if you don't pay for your army, not to be defended by the other countries inside NATO.
So it's basically the Trump's position also, so countries have to spend more money on their own defense. But are you also advocating for a defense like build up in Europe apart from the US, apart from this NATO structure?
I don't think this can work, and I want the European Union to remain as it was original thought by great people in our history like Adenauer and de Gaulle, as an economic space that allows free circulation of persons and of goods. I do not believe the European Union should intervene in the military aspect, in the cultural aspect, how we can grow our children, if they can have changes of their genders and operation, changing genders for little children. This is, for us as Romanian people, are not an option. This is not what we signed up for. I'm fully committed in respecting all treaties that Romania has signed, but also we want respect and we want to be treated as equal partners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're here in Vienna. Vienna has a very, well, Austria in general has a very big Romanian diaspora. It has been growing very quickly in the last few years. How do you see the role and the importance of the diaspora for politics in Romania?
Well, this is exactly why people are upset in our country. We are a wealthy country, a rich country, from the point of view of natural resources, but still we have a poor population, and half of the active population are working abroad. The diaspora won the elections for Mr. Georgescu, put us as the AUR party in the first place. They are important, and they are the people affected by the bad governance of the country in the last 35 years.
In other countries in Eastern Europe, be it Bosnia-Herzegovina or in last fall Moldova, the diaspora in Western Europe usually voted for the Western reformist, liberal, whatever etiquette you take. Well, for this kind of progressive whatever candidate. With the Romania diaspora, it's the other way around. They voted very largely in favor for conservative right-wing candidates. In Austria, 48% for Mr. Georgescu. Can you explain this difference?
Yes, it's not about ideological and political ideologies. It's about what it matters, and what it matters is the people abroad were sent away from their native country because of the government. So people are not voting for conservative or progressists. They are voting to make a change, and this happens in a democracy. You must allow changes, but turns out that changes are not admitted by our establishment. They are the same guys that were involved in the Romanian Revolution in 1989. They were backing Ceausescu up. Nothing changed really. They just painted themselves into Democrats, but they didn't allow democracy to prevail. So this is our mission, this is my mission, this is why I'm a candidate in these elections, to admit democracy in Romania, transparency, and to allow the voice of the Romanian people to be heard.
Well, in the last round, so in the first round of the elections, Mr. Georgescu got 48-point-something% here in Austria. You got 12.8, if I'm not mistaken, 12.3, 12.8. How will you try to convince the Romanian voters voting in Austria that they should give the vote to you?
We are under the same political battle. We are seen as similar competitors by the Romania diaspora because we are not part of the government. So we are coming again to have a rally and a conference with the Romanians here in Vienna on the 13th of April. So we are meeting them and we are explaining to them the importance of exercising their vote, even if some would be disappointed because they have already voted and their vote didn't matter. So we must put emphasis on this, the importance of the vote, and hopefully this time the vote really counts, and we will finish this drama that is happening in Romania.
One of the reasons, well, alleged, one of the reasons why Mr. Georgescu was disqualified were different ideas, informations about his connections to Moscow, to put it this way. What would be the position towards Ukraine and Russia under a President Simeon?
You put a very good question, allegedly, because no sign of meddling with the electoral process from Russia, no shred of evidence was presented. Only Mr. Macron and Antony Blinken who made these comments about the Russian collusion, but we haven't seen it. Why Russia and not China, etc., etc. We cannot speak and we cannot disqualify somebody without a proper trial and without a judge banning that person from participating in an election. So we want to be part of NATO, part of the European Union. We want to have good relations with all the neighbors. Of course, we want the current international treaties to be respected, but they were not, because Russia occupied part of Ukraine, and I would expect that Ukraine doesn't go on the Russian path, and understand they also must respect all international treaties and respect the Romanian minority that is living in Ukraine. We have 500,000 Romanians living in Ukraine, and it's important because we will respect their borders. We help them a lot in the war effort. So it's time for Kiev to respect us back.
Romania is an important base for logistics for Ukraine, both by exporting grain and so on and so forth, and by importing materials for the Ukrainian army. Would this go on under your presidency?
Make no mistake, I will put Romania's interest first, and I will put the Romanian people first. Now the Ukrainian grains, if they are Ukrainians, they are prioritized in Constanța Harbor, for example. Priority will have the Romanian farmers, then the rest. And only if Ukraine respects the national minorities in regards of school and church. But yes, we are considering in helping logistic and humanitarian the people of Ukraine who don't have to suffer. We have been a victim of the imperialistic attitude of big powers in the Second World War. They also robbed our territories under Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Two criminals in history, Stalin and Hitler.
You mentioned humanitarian goods, military goods?
No, we don't want to be a part of any war. We want to have a similar attitude like the Austrians, who are a neutral country.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.